Your true self isn't in theory or in your imagination, it is in fact in reality. But only when you experience and experiment, that is when you can get the feedback on what you want and what you love. The two most important things. So always remember to keep a balance between theory and practice. For a very long time, I thought to myself that I was lost. I thought it would take forever for me to find myself. And it's only through trial and error where I was granted the gift of building myself. Maybe none of us have our ideal self in front of us. Maybe none of us have the perfect version of ourselves, and maybe we need to build that version of ourselves instead. The only way to fulfill the search for purpose is to try. Trying multiple pathways in order to see which one will be the right journey for yourself. There will never ever be a time where you can stick to one thing and you'll be able to find yourself because it may not be for you. And that is when you typically give up. You try one thing, you put all your eggs into one basket, and you don't get the result that you want. It is only when you stray on multiple paths, that is when you find you. That is when you build you. I was having a conversation the other day about quitting. A lot of people view quitting in a negative light. Now, I do not think you should quit on anything you're currently doing. That is not what I'm about to explain to you. But I do believe that you should be optimistic enough and have a big enough mind, be very open-minded about what you are currently doing, because maybe this will not be your thing forever. Maybe this is not the career for you, the pathway for you. Sometimes you do have to stray off your path to find out what will work for you. And that is a fact. A lot of people do not believe in quitting. I don't believe in quitting. A lot of people believe in sticking to one path. I do not believe in sticking to one path, because you never know if another path will be better off for you until you try. In attempting to create a new you, you need to first understand who you are. You need to make sure that you know exactly who you are in order for you to make those subconscious tweaks in your mind that will make a change. Everything is about change. In order to see something else, you need to change your perspective. You need to change the view. Because if you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, that's the definition of insanity, my friend, because you're only going to get the same results over and over and over again. When I sit down and truly think about one's destiny or potential, if you will, I think we are all destined to become something and not someone, because we all allow ourselves to slip. We all let that potential go, and we all have a choice to make. The choice is yours on who you become. You are not destined to become this great thing. You have a choice to, but that's not your destiny. Your destiny is to become something, and that comes down to all of the decisions you make. Those small decisions you make on taking care of yourselves, taking care of the people around you, on your goals, on how hard you're willing to work. Every single little detail coming down to that Ashton Hall morning routine is what is going to make that extra difference in deciding who you are. Because we are not all destined to be great. We are not all destined to be successful. We are not all destined to be happy. The list goes on. Because it's down to all of those subconscious choices we make every single day with repetition to build discipline. That is the only way you will build yourself correctly and find you. Because a lot of you will still believe that you still need to find yourself. And maybe finding yourself is building yourself up, because then you'll be able to see it right in front of you. But you need to be able to consider the concept of you being destined to be something and not someone. Because we all have the power to coast. We all have the power to let time fly and have the ability to be patient or maybe sit and do nothing. Only when you become more than something, only when you become someone, that is because of you. That is because of the choices you've made, and not because the universe has sculpted you into this. That is because you have done the work, my friend. The universe, maybe someone higher up, of course, will have a hand to play in it. But at the end of the day, you should not undergo the work that you're putting in and only think that other things will help you, because you are the only person that can help yourself. Think of it like this. You are the painter and you are the sculptor. You are an artist. Everyone is an artist. It doesn't just go for music and physical art that looks pretty, because we are all artists to ourselves. And only when we understand that foundation, the groundwork, we look at it and we see who we are, only then can we build on what is already there. I want you guys to understand that there has always been a you. This is bigger now than just finding yourself and building yourself, like I've been saying for the past 6 minutes. You need to understand that currently there is a you, whether you view them in a negative light or a positive light. But understanding that there is a you, making sure that you know that is the first step in being able to build on top of that. Because a lot of you will believe that there isn't even a you to begin with, because you're not in the position you want to currently be in. A lot of you think that just because you're not where you want to be doesn't mean you're not going in the right direction, doesn't mean that you're not trying. I really need you to continue. I really need you to be able to keep going at times you do not feel like it, at times where you think it is all over. Because trust me, even though I'm 19 and I haven't even been alive for that long, I know how patient you have to be with yourself in order to figure something out, some sort of situation out, because it is very hard and tiresome in doing so. It is a very difficult thing to know what you want to do. A lot of people have that ability from birth, maybe from someone's influence, like their parents or a loved one or a friend, telling them they should do this, and they either don't want to do it and they do it, or they build that interest for it. But some people do not have that blessing where they have to literally try multiple things, and that's when they'll find it. You need to have a patience with yourself like none other. Just like the way you patiently wait for that one person to text you and they never do so, you need to do that with yourself. What I'm trying to spit out to you, the beans I'm trying to spill, is that you should have hope. Hope is a very important thing. It does not make you delusional. It keeps you sane. Always try to stay positive and always try to stay hopeful, especially when it comes to you. So before you go on with your day, before you move on to something else and forget all the information I just spouted out to you, I want you to remember that life isn't about finding yourself, it is about creating yourself. Anyway, that's me for today. I'm gonna catch you tomorrow as always. Makan.